To all the non-believers, 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 non-believers. I'm making non-believers.
What's up, y'all? This is Jay Varsity, and welcome to episode 100 of NBA Talk Playoff Edition. Oh, I know I didn't come up with a video the other day. I was very busy, but we knew about the game one losses from the Bucks and the Lakers, how they both struggled against the Magic and the Blazers. I'm pretty sure it's nothing new. I'm pretty sure you've been reminded of that, and I'm pretty sure you already known about the Sixers being down 0-2 against the Celtics. That's no surprise to me, as as their as the teams are, the separation of between the two is the Celtics are playing like the much superior basketball team. But anyway, that's just a summary of what happened the other day. But from last night, man, if I'm not gonna lie, if I tell you I was not expecting the Timberwolves to get the number one pick in the draft lottery. I was really not expecting that. And I was low key gonna get pissed if the Golden State Warriors ended up with the number one pick. And they came very close. They ended up with the number two pick, which I wouldn't be surprised if they used as a trade asset, but at the same time, they could kind of use they could kind of use a big man out or whatever. I don't know their situation, anything like that. Who the Hornets ended up with the number three pick, the Bulls ended up with the number four pick, and and once again, Knicks fans disappointed that they got the eighth pick. Like it, that one of the New York Knicks ever gonna get just a little bit of luck in their way. Like I'm a Heat fan, and I even feel a little sorry for the Knicks. Like I feel a little sorry for them. I have friends who've been Knicks fans for many years, and I don't know how they do it. To tell you the truth, I don't know how they do it. But I want to know what is your take on the draft lottery? Do you think the Timberwolves? I'm hearing rumors that the Timberwolves might use that number one pick as a trade asset. I'm not very sure because this whole thing that Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, and Devin Booker, they all want to play together, but I really doubt after what the Phoenix Suns just did that they're gonna just take a number one pick in exception for Devin Booker. I don't know. I really just don't know. But the Timberwolves are going in the right direction. They are going in the right direction. That's all. That's all I'll tell you right now. And I kind of like the mix of things when it comes to the draft lottery because now it's like it's not guaranteed that the worst team is gonna get the number one pick. It's like I'm sorry. Do you want us to reward you with the best player in the draft because you were just that terrible? So I like the new rules when it comes to the draft and mixes things up. It's not like because the past few years when we had to watch the Sixers tank, it was just that was that was just absolutely god awful that they tanked for like what 5 years. They tanked for 5 years to get number one picks, and this is the aftermath of it that they can't even have a perfect contender around them. It's like damn. And apparently they didn't know how to scout either because the only good jobs they did was drafting Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. But who would be dumb enough not to draft Jason Tatum? You could have had a monster big three right there, and you just didn't draft the right guy. But that's just the luck of the draw because the draft, nothing is guaranteed. But let's get on with the matchups from yesterday. The first game being my beloved Miami Heat taking on the Indiana Pacers. Duncan Robinson came out and just lit the place up, man. He's just been amazing since the restart. He's been going off from three. Jimmy Butler has been an amazing leader, whether it's offensively or and defensively. I love this Heat team, man. They're very vocal. They're very gritty. They're feisty. They don't give a damn who the hell they're playing. They're playing the same exact way. They're great. They're a great perimeter shooting team. They're a great perimeter defensive team. It, I just love this team. I just love this team so far, and I believe this team is going to be on the rise within the next year or two because they are really going to go for it by going for a marquee free agent at some point in time. So this team, look out because this team is going to be very dangerous. This team is a dark horse already in the Eastern Conference. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to what the Miami Heat do, especially as a Heat fan. I'm just really looking forward to what they do in the future because I'm really liking what they're doing right now. The process is looking very good. The Indiana Pacers, they kept in the game, but at the same time they their offense wasn't keeping them in the game because they were missing a lot of good shots. They were missing a lot of good shots. They, like I said, the Miami Heat's perimeter defense was being effective, and the Miami Heat did what they had to do. They did what they had to do, and now they're up 2-0 against the Indiana Pacers. So the next game of the night, of that afternoon, but either way, you get my point. It was the Thunder against the Houston Rockets, Oklahoma City Thunder, just in case any of you didn't know. And I just don't understand what is going on with the Thunder, to tell you the truth. Now, the Houston Rockets, they're playing amazing. Let me give credit where credit is due. The Houston Rockets are playing some incredible ball even without Westbrook. They are just dominating OKC. They're dominating them. Like they they're getting whatever they want, whatever look they want. They're just attacking. They're attacking the paint. They're hitting the perimeter shots. It's like they're doing whatever the hell they want against OKC. I don't understand. OKC has been that tough team this entire time. Then all of a sudden they're playing against Houston in the first round and they're just disappearing. They've just disappeared. I really don't get it. I don't understand why the Thunder are playing the way they're playing. They think they're the perimeter shooting team now, and it's just it confuses me because they should be abusing the paint. They should be using Steven Adams. They should be using Danilo Gallinari. They should be abusing and pounding the paint, and they're not doing that. They keep falling for the trap that they're gonna try to outshoot Houston, and you're not gonna outshoot Houston. Even though Houston struggled a little bit from the perimeter through this game, but like I said, they just got dominant at one point that it didn't matter if they were down that they were gonna eventually come back. They were just gonna eventually come back because they have great perimeter shooters and great slashers. And on the defensive end, everybody was all over the place. They weren't leaving people open. There was constant switching. That's what's confusing about the Houston small ball. You get so thrown off that they're playing such small defenders, and you think, oh, I could just post them up and everything. And no, they're constantly switching. Every time you even call a screen, I don't know. To me, OKC needs to figure out something because if Westbrook comes back for Game 3, this series is a wrap. I think Houston might be on the verge of even sweeping the Thunder. So I have no idea what the hell OKC got to do, but they need to make some serious adjustments. And CP3, you've been doing your thing all year, but you got to step up in Game 3. You really do. You really got to step up in Game 3. You need to be that leader that I know you are. And you need to make some big adjustments for Game 3 because you have not been playing your best ball in this series so far. Now, the Bucks and the Magic. Well, Magic and Bucks, if you want to say it correctly. The Bucks did what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to do this in Game 1. The Bucks were supposed to assert their dominance on the defensive end and the offensive end. But I want to point out one thing on this. I want to point out one thing on the Bucks right now. Chris Middleton's shooting struggle is really starting to concern me right now. Chris Middleton is really struggling. He went, 4 for 13 in game 1, and he went 1 of 9 in game 2. Even though the Bucks won in dominating fashion, Giannis did his thing, Pat Connaughton did his thing, Brook Lopez did his thing, Wesley Matthews did his thing. The rest of the Bucks team did their thing. So it was like, people might not notice a glaring, it might not be as glaring as people might see, but Chris Middleton is struggling right now. And that is beyond weird because he's had such an incredible season. But a lot of other people who have paid attention to last year's playoffs were expecting this because Chris Middleton did the same thing last year. Chris Middleton, his numbers were never as equal as it was in the regular season when it got into the playoffs. So, even though the Bucks, like I said, they did dominate like they were supposed to against the Orlando Magic, they did assert their dominance. Giannis made it perfectly clear. He tried to make it perfectly clear that first game was a fluke, and they just rolled over the Magic. But again, I just can't. I'll give maybe a pass if Chris Middleton is struggling in the first round and the Bucks just straight dominate the rest of the way. But when it comes to the second round and the conference finals, I don't know. I think Chris Middleton struggling is gonna be too much to try to overcome if he keeps shooting like this, which I don't believe he will. I don't believe he will keep shooting like this, but I hope he doesn't. I hope he gets back to playing the ball that he's been playing all year. And let's just hope that it was just those first 2 games. But anyway, then we're getting on to the final game of the night. Oh my Lord Jesus. The Portland Trail Blazers and the Los Angeles Lakers. Man, did people go off about the Lakers losing game 1. And yes, I'm going to point out right now, people are going to talk about how LeBron shot 4 for 11. He only scored 10 points. He only scored 10 points and the Lakers only won by damn near 30. The Lakers, once again, because from game 1, they didn't play such bad defense in game 1. They actually played even better defense in game 2. And here's the difference. Here is the difference. The Lakers were making their shots. They were making their perimeter shots. Anthony Davis finally asserted his dominance in this damn series. Like, the Lakers made NBA fans well know. They just made sure. They said, hey, that was game 1. Now we're going into game 2. Now the series is tied. They just gave Portland a beatdown. They gave Portland a beatdown. They made sure that glaring analysis that Portland's defense was absolutely terrible was well known because Anthony Davis did whatever he wanted. LeBron penetrated the paint and found whoever he needed to find. KCP had himself a night. J.R. Smith even had a couple good assists. Dwight Howard was dominating, even though he got into foul trouble at one point. He was dominating physically with the rebounds. JaVale McGee even contributed. Hell, it was a team effort from the Lakers. So I really enjoyed what I saw, and I give credit to Frank Vogel for sticking with the guys that he put in, because a lot of people were trying to give him crap, including me, about making adjustments, about making sure these guys get minutes. Even though he did give J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters minutes, it wasn't like he did it out of desperation. He still believed in KCP, and look at how KCP came through. He came through with 15 points. What was he, 4 for 5 from the three-point line? And his defense on Damian Lillard was actually pretty damn good. Damian Lillard only had 18 points and CJ McCollum only had 13. So, to me, the Lakers did a decent job trying to contain Dame and CJ. Damian Lillard ended up dislocating his index finger, but the X-rays came back negative. So I'm really sure that Damian Lillard is gonna play Game 3. I don't think he's gonna try to miss Game 3 for the world right now. So we're looking forward to see what happens in Game 3. What adjustments are the Blazers gonna make, because now the ball is in their court. They need to be the ones to make adjustments, because the Lakers clearly showed that because we were missing shots, that was the difference between us losing Game 1 and dominating in Game 2, because that was the only difference. The Lakers only lost by 7 points, and that was because they were not making shots. So, to me, that's just the difference between when they make their shots and their offense is key, and when their defense is and when they're concentrated on defense. And I know people are gonna look at LeBron only scoring 10 points. LeBron is not trying to score 30 in this series because he knows he can easily penetrate. This man has the highest basketball IQ in basketball, and he's literally picking apart the Blazers with no problem. If he wanted to penetrate the paint every single time, he could have done it. But he knows Hassan Whiteside is there, and Hassan Whiteside is an elite shot blocker. He knows the man averages 3 blocks. He averaged 3 blocks a game all season. So he ain't going to be dumb and go to the lane when he knows there's an elite shot blocker there. So what's he going to do? Hey, AD, here's the ball. Hassan Whiteside can't guard you. There you go. And AD finally is realizing that nobody in Portland can guard him. So he asserted his dominance. He was moving quickly in transition, and he got easy buckets. So now I think the number 1 seeds are going to start to show their dominance through the rest of the series. So, but then again, for the Lakers' sake, Damian Lillard might not be 100% for Game 3, so he will play. But let's see how much he'll be effective, and let's see if the Lakers can still continue their assertiveness on the offensive end. I would like to see LeBron get a little bit more towards that 15-20 point range when it comes to these games, because he has been a little passive in these games so far. But overall, I'm not concerned about the Lakers. Because at least they didn't have to get a star player. They didn't have to get Dame or CJ ejected to win their game. Shots at the Clippers right now. And I'm not even saying low-key throwing shots at the Clippers. I am throwing shots at the Clippers, that they had to get Porzingis thrown out in Game 1 just to beat the Mavericks, and then the Mavericks beat the brakes off of them in Game 2. Anyway, that's another video for another day, because I can't stand how much people try to brush off a Clippers loss, but then they want to blow up and act like the world is ending whenever the Lakers lose. But anyway, that's it. That's all. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell if you like basketball content. This is your boy Jay Varsity, and I am out. Peace.
We got some non-believers out there.
Make believers out of non-believers. Make believers out the overseas.